Hey, and welcome to Saturday Strolling. I thought we would start off right here with Miss Goldstaff. Now, I know in these, getting ready for spring video, I said I cut all my Phalaenopsis spikes. Well, I don't cut them all. This one actually blooms all year. She does root growth and leaf growth. So with her, I'm not too concerned about getting vegetative or root growth because she does it all year. And then Queen's Bear back there, she normally blooms about this time of the year anyway. So I'm going to allow her to bloom. Here we have, I think that one is the oh, I don't know what that is. I can't see it. Oh, wait a minute. Is this my Tadia Blush? Tadia Blush. She's got a leaf. I recently cut a spike off of her after she bloomed out. Sunshine's looking a little shad. But this lady back here, look at the keiki. I don't know if you can see it or not, but look at the keiki and all the nice new root growth coming out. Love that. Just love that. And then my Sin Diamond, I believe is that one. Is that Sin? Nope, that's Harlequin. I don't know. I can't see, guys, because kind of on my tippy toes on a chair. But I believe that one has a new leaf coming. It's one of our ICPUs. And then over here, just finishing off that big leaf. And then look at the roots coming on this lady, my Sanderiana. Can you see it? I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but she's got new roots coming. I did reposition her in the pot. She was closer to the end of the pot, and I just kind of took her out, moved her over, cleaned her up. And I also moved this one, the Sanderiana, and the Goldstaff to the edge because they were sitting in the back. It's just easier to flush them if they're in the front instead of having to move all the stuff in the front just to get to those because they get a little more attention than the ladies in bark. Lark Song, working on her new leaf. Hopefully she'll bloom for us this summer. She normally blooms from either spring or summer. She didn't bloom at all last year. I'm kind of surprised. And then this one here, no ID, just doing some leaf growth and some lovely root growth. Let's just look inside her pot real quick and see if she's got, she's not quite, they are going down in there, so that's good. And then little leaves here. Yep, she's finished with that leaf. Not quite the size it was. And that's one of our ICPUs. Not ICPUs, one of my rescues from May of like 21, I believe it was. And then since I'm on the chair, let's just look at our summer bloomers here. Miss Bellina is still in lovely bloom. Again, I'm not too impressed with the scent, but that bloom is just absolutely stunning. And I'm hoping that by next week, our little blooms here will be burst open of the Tai-Shing Fly Eagle. And then also I'm hoping that the wild type Bellina, because it looks like that should be open next week. If not next week, definitely in 2 weeks. Abenensis is starting to really swell up. And then Yaupon Evergreen has 2 of her 3 buds open. Summer Love back there, I did cut the spike. She's starting to senesce one of those bottom leaves. And I also did not cut my mini mark. Y'all, I am so impressed with myself on this one. Well, I guess impressed with her. She did it, but I feel like I had a little part in it. Look at the size of the leaves that she's grown. And then, like I said, this is the best spike that I've had, and I just can't bring myself to cut it yet. Forgive me. And then the Ninja Orchid, as I like to call it, because this is the Cornucervi Chattel a Day. If you are a member of Nina's channel, you are a ninja, and this is the orchid that she always dedicates to us. And then this one here that is my questionable Bellina is starting to swell a single bud, so hopefully that will be in bloom, and that one will be in bloom so we can compare. Otherwise, we'll use pictures. And then the Bellina Carula looks like she's starting to senesce that bottom leaf, but she is working on that big leaf, and then she's got some root growth, if I can do it without messing too much up, but she's got some little root growth growing right there. But look at Yin's Black Eagle. Let me move this one out of the way. Look at that. We have some beautiful, beautiful roots coming down, and I think she may have a keiki coming. I'm so sorry for all the shaking, but I'm trying to do this on it. Yeah, I think that might be a keiki right there. So that is actually good. So she's growing a leaf, roots, and a possible keiki. I did cut the Phalaenopsis Soko Vivian spike. This one here is the one I can't pronounce all big fancy names, but that is one of my birthday orchids, working on another leaf. She's finished this leaf since she's been here. Lots of root growth, nothing going on with that spike. And then Samara, just finishing off this one with some root growth coming along. And then let's just look at Violacea Indigo here. That one is starting to thicken up. So excited to see that one. And since I'm feeling all big and bad, let's just stay on the chair and look at the Coleogeny here. Move that leaf so you can, if I can reach, I can't reach that leaf. Oh, don't fall. That's the name of it right there. She's working on that new growth, and she has, look at those gorgeous roots coming up. Look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful. I have been having to water her probably about every other day, and I know I could water her every day and she would be just fine. And then the Hawaiian treat that I recently remounted. We have root there. We have some new roots up in here. So I'm loving that. And someone did make the comment that I was overthinking it. It wasn't so much I'm overthinking the mount. I overthink the aesthetics, I think, is what I'm overthinking. And then this one here is branching off, has not rebloomed in quite some time. That's the Lamigilia, or Lamigaria. Let's see if I can focus and zoom in for you guys. There we go. She's actually got a cute little bloom. And then I did kind of rearrange this top shelf again. This is my No ID Oncidium, and I counted, she has about 8 new growths on her. So I really need to keep up with her watering because we've lost more spikes, guys. So I really need to keep up with her watering. And then the Red Fantasy Sherry Baby has 5 new growths. And then I did move the Spectabilis over here. She was kind of sitting over in here, but I wanted to kind of push her back now that she's in the bigger pot. And so she's getting a little more light because I think she needs a little more light than these 2 Oncidiums here. And then this is the Golden Gammon White Knight, finishing off that beautiful bulb right back there. And then I did move Wilsonera up here because the Isabella had to move her. She's struggling. And then I moved Twinkle up here. And she just, let's just keep looking at the spots. Let me get it into focus. There we go. Oh, she's so pretty. And then Unicum, the bud actually did orange out some. I think when we looked at it last week, it kind of looked yellow to me, but look at that. Ooh-wee. I can't wait to see that open. And this one here, guys, is Nina's Fault. This one, and then the Chattel a Day is Nina's Fault over at Ninja Orchids. She's shown her several times in beautiful bloom. And then there's that new growth. And I'm just going to let that growth kind of do whatever it wants to do. Just let it do what it wants to do. And like I said, eventually it will be hanging from something on the ceiling or from off of one of these. Right now I just have it hanging off to the side just so I don't change the light too much. Keep from blasting. And then real quick while we're up here, I might lose Peaches. I got water in her crown and she quickly got rid of another leaf. So I'm hoping that I caught it. She kicks out another leaf and she is saved because I love her blue. So I told you guys I moved Lady Isabella. So I did move her over here. She's getting, it looks like a really bright light, but it's not quite as bright as what was over on the top shelf because look at her. She looks so very sad. Look at those bulbs, they're all shriveled, but she does have these new growths. There are roots coming from them, so fingers crossed those roots will take over the pot and rehydrate her. And I doubt those 3 growths are going to really mature. I'm just really shooting for the roots. That's kind of where I'm going with that. And then here, the King, it's just growing another leaf. I keep looking for a spike, and she's got roots a-coming. I've had this one since May of 2022, almost 2 years. Lots of leaf growth, lots of root growth. Let me just show you guys. Look at all the roots in that pot. I mean, just everywhere. And I may have to freshen up those media, But it's Orchiata Bark, so I was hoping to get away with it for another year, but maybe if I give her a little refresh, a bigger pot, maybe she'll go ahead and push out a spiky spike, hint, hint. And then Marasaki's growths are going just fine. And then the Spicerianum, that growth that I'm almost certain is going to produce a spike, it's coming right on along. And, oh, so my Fred Clark After Dark, I was going to let it go ahead and go into dormancy. Remember, I was going to force it? Well, I was peeling off the 2 bottom leaves because they were senesced enough that I could pull them off. And as you can see, I've had it since August of 22, but there is something happening right there. And I'm going to keep watering it for a couple of more weeks, unless it just naturally starts senescing those leaves. I want to see what that is. That might be a spike. Maybe. And then I moved the fowl that was sitting on the bench over here. She is getting ready to push out another leaf. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's really down in there. Nothing else really much happening over her except for, I think Naomi's Delight has no longer been delightful. I don't think she's happy. She looks like she is all the way gone. I was hoping that that little new growth right there would kind of be her surviving grace, but it feels like it's dried out. I'm going to leave it there for another few weeks, see what happens, just in case. And then over here, Miss a Lovely Lady. Look at her. Let's see if I can get in here. But this is the Sunset Love. Look at that. Thank you so much. I'm going to mess up your name. I will put your comment on the screen for verifying what I had kind of thought it was after I did the research. But look at her. Oh my goodness, she is. Look at all the spots and that beautiful fuchsia lip. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, still have soft clouds over here. See if I can do it without the glare. Kind of hard because it's the windows right there, and then you got lighting in the back. Isn't she just pretty? Oh yeah, I know. I don't like white flowers. And then my Laelia purpurata carina hasn't quite finished off this growth. And look what I found coming up. We have a whole nother growth coming. She has, let's see if I can do this without messing too much up, but there's that growth. She's got the root there, and then she's got another root right here, but I don't want to mess with this because I don't want to cover up the new growth coming. So excited. Oh, I just noticed. We're going to have some African violet bulb. Look at there. Look at those flowers. I'm going to do an update on my African violets in the next few days. And then the Maxillaria spots. Lovely new growths coming. She's got those 3 that she's working on. And then there's, I believe, 2 more. There's 1 and 2. Up 3. We have 3 new growths and 3 that are almost mature. And then here is everybody all wiped down and clean. Ah, look at this. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but there are little light pink spots on these white flowers. Ah, yeah, you can see, kind of see it, kind of right here. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Can you see it? No. Darn it. I'll try to take a picture to show you. Ah, there it is. Look at that. And they're on the flowers, just very minute little spots. Look at that. Look at that. So see, they're not white. They have pink on them. That's why I like them so much. But I moved, let me zoom out. I moved my royal chip over here because I keep telling y'all there's buds, buds, buds everywhere. And I mean it. Look at this. There's buds there. There's a bud. There's a bud. There's a bud. I mean, it is buds everywhere in here. New growth. Bloom already. Join snowflake in the blooming of your flowers, please. Everybody send it. Send it. Bloom, bloom. I've already sent a letter to the orchid fairies. I need them to explain this to me. Green leopard is, I hope, going to open these leaves the way that they should be, because this last growth just, I don't know, didn't do what it was supposed to. And then my twinkle over here has a second growth coming right here. And then where is that? No, that's the second new growth. Sorry, guys. That one I've known about. But this one, we have that second one that's coming right on along. Down here, Kingi Annam. Let me take Kingi Annam out. Let me just move that over a little bit, because I was looking at this bad boy last night when I did watering and cleaning of leaves and disinfecting and all that stuff. But let me use my other hand, because I feel like I'm going to drop it if I use that one. So we have this new growth right here coming. And then where else? I saw a couple of other new growths as well. So we've got two down there. There's one right there on the left. And then there's one on the right. You can barely see them. And I thought I saw one more up. There it is. And then there's another new growth coming right there in the middle. So far we have four new growths coming along on that. And then our lovely lady here, the Angel Eyes crossed with Dennis Russinger. So she does have a scent. It's a very vague rose scent. It's not strong, it's just very subtle. And then the Coral Smiths were graduated to the shelf this week. So we have the Volcano Prince right here. We've got Jupiter Drops. Over here we've got something Valentine. Let's see. Mark's Valentine. What About Love? And then look at Pure Love. Has her new growth right there. So they're finally graduated. And then over here on the Falicota, pull her out. She is doing some wonderful things. So let's do this without dropping her. But we have some new growths right there with new leaves. And then she's doing this really strange thing in the back. If you can kind of see right there, that was, let's see. I can get that out of the way. There we go. That's where she bloomed last year, and it looks like there's another spike coming right next to it. It's a nice green. I hope that's what that is, because these flowers were so cute. All right, so let's just look. I've had it since 21, repotted it in September of 21, and then in June of 22, and she's been in this particular setup, which is just nothing but small lava rock, since September of 22. So she's been in there for a minute, but she's done the best in the lava rock out of all of the different media choices that I had, because first I had her in bark, then I had her in bark and moss, then I had her in all moss. Been through some things with me, but I think the lava rock is her media choice. And then let me get down here. Let me show you guys. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Up there it is. Right back here. Oh, so this is the Phalaenopsis that is the part of the K-Light experiment. So this was the one that I just do MSU on. And I was a little disappointed because, as you can see, you can't really see very many roots. She doesn't look very happy. Well, I pulled off the leaf that she was senescing last night, and she was covered, like she had totally been taken over by the mealybugs in there. All right, those are dead. And so I really cleaned her up really well. So I'm hoping that now she bounces on back. I'm going to show you the one that is just getting the K-Light so you can kind of see the difference. Move that, and I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. But let's pull this ICPU from, I believe it's November out. So we do have that new leaf growth. She's got root growth, but more importantly, well, maybe not more importantly, but secondary, we have keiki coming. How cute is that? Look at that root right there. How cute is that? So we're going to have a keiki on the oncidium. Oncidium. Oh my goodness. Girl, that is a phalaenopsis. I don't know my own plants. So, the plant that sits here is behind me. So let's go look at it. So this is my sweet memory. I took her out of her media last night to see why her leaves were not perking up. Well, it's because she had very little roots left in there. Most of her roots had died off. And so I took her out, cleaned her up, and like a dum-dum, I overwatered her. So she is sitting here on this shelf where there's airflow all the way around so that I can get her to dry out a little bit faster than in the mask. She is growing a beautiful new, I say beautiful, it just started, but there's a new leaf. And she had 2 little aerial roots that were starting that had nice big green juicy tips on them, so fingers crossed I didn't mess it up again. So this one is the other phalaenopsis that is just getting K-light, and you can see the difference. Look at all the roots in there. I think you can see the difference. There it is. Look at all the roots. Look at that. And then she's got lots of leaf growth. Look at all the roots there. So I think it was the mealybugs that were keeping the other one from thriving. So we shall see, and I'll have to keep an eye out, make sure I did get all of them. Nothing else really going on over here, but let's go look at the March ICP. I forgot to show you guys this while we were over here, but this is the nodosa type, the pink nodosa type. I moved it over here this morning because that new growth is actually starting to perk up. So I thought I'd bring it over here to give it that extra light and see if it doesn't produce. Oh, and there looks like little root nubbins coming out there somewhere. Cool. All right, so this is the really sad looking one. We did lose the one leaf that I figured would be gone. Fingers crossed it makes it. Here's the other Cattleya that, as you can see, it's not really shriveling at all. So I'm thinking that my little trick with the moss is working. I haven't messed with it because I don't want to disturb it right now. And then the other 3, well, these 2, let me zoom back in. So these 2 both senesced all their leaves except for those, but there are roots coming. Let's see if I can just kind of move that. As you can see, there's like a little root nubbin there. And then this one here has that little, see it? Little root nubbin there, so that's good. And then the other one that I was saying in the repot, that root is starting to swell a little bit more, along with a couple of other little bulges coming out there. So I think that one's going to be fine. And then, of course, this one with 2 leaves, still doing fine. Really, the only one that I'm still concerned about is that one. Hoping that the tetraspis, I don't know why I want to call it an equestrus, maybe because they both have this on the end. Hoping that that is nice and in bloom next week. Again, if not, probably in 2 weeks. Going to be tackling this girl here as well shortly. And I am definitely doing something with Miss Gigantea. Hope you guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you next time.